What's up, everyone? Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be. Thank you for tuning in to the Man Cave Sports Talk podcast, where you get real talk, real sports, no agendas, just passion. I'm your boy, the Sactown Packhound, with my co-host, Tim the Packer Hill. And without further ado, let's go! All right, Tim, a lot to get into.
Welcome back, by the way.
Yes, it's been a little bit. We've both kind of been busy. I've had quite a few card shows. You have started a new job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, has been a little bit. So, a lot to catch up on. Let's start with the NBA playoffs right now. I know you wanted to touch on the refereeing or lack thereof.
Well, I just think it's great to see old school basketball. Mm-hmm. I mean, where if you don't sniff with somebody, there's no foul called. I like the fact that you can be physical. Teams are actually having issues with this problem. Mm-hmm. Coaches are having problems with this problem. I mean, there's a lot of complaining in the media. We saw Jamal Murray throwing things at the referee, which got a $100,000 fine, but no suspensions, which is kind of crazy.
Well, you know why that's happening, right? Because LeBron's not in there.
Correct.
That's it.
I mean, if LeBron, I know that if LeBron was there, how much worse it would be.
Oh, yeah.
It's just amazing to me what's taking place.
I love that they're letting him play. What I don't like, the only call that I didn't like, and we talked about this before the cameras were on, is the call in the Pacers-Knicks game when they called a kick ball at the end of the game, and it was not a kick ball, it was a clean deflection. Pacers got it for basically a breakaway. Mm-hmm. They stopped it, gave it back. Knicks turned around on that next possession and hit a three. That's a possible 6-point swing.
Correct.
And the Knicks ended up winning that game in a very, very close game. Mm-hmm. Whereas if that was the correct call, they might have still won, but it was the Pacers were on track to win if they get that basket, and they could possibly be up 3-1 right now. Yeah. That's a huge, huge difference.
See, I don't know the actual rule of challenging that, or if it could have been challenged.
Right.
Understandably, it's a kick ball that I guess can't be challenged. But if it's a change of possession and the ball goes out of bounds, and you kind of can't tell who's it off of, and the referees decide, okay, we're going to go Knicks ball. Yeah. Why couldn't the Pacers challenge that call?
Yeah,
whose ball it was.
What the commentators were saying is that you cannot challenge a call of a kickball, which is stupid. I don't think there should be rules on what you can challenge and what you can't challenge. Same thing in the NFL. There's certain things that you can't challenge, and it's just stupid. If it's the wrong call, it's the wrong call. They shouldn't even have to challenge. That's where we have the technology. You have 100 people upstairs watching the game. You can hit a freaking buzzer and have them go check the teleprompter and make the right call. It affects the outcome of the game.
Yeah, I don't understand why you couldn't challenge that. It's a change of possession call. Mm-hmm. So why can't you challenge? I mean, obviously, if the challenges are just based off of fouls,
right?
And we're going to challenge this foul call. Well, that's just stupid,
right?
Because you should be able to challenge a change of possession call if the referees can't see something.
Absolutely.
So absolutely, and I don't understand where that problem lies.
Yeah, I don't understand either. Like I said, same thing with the NFL. I don't understand why some things can be and some things can't be challenged. Everything should be able to be challenged. And like I said, forget the challenges. The fact that I understand why they do it, because you can't have them challenge every play. The freaking game would take 5 hours. But it's stupid that a blatant call is missed, and because you used your challenge earlier, you can't challenge it, but it changes the outcome of the game. It's just, something has to be done about it. It's just stupid.
No, I agree. And I also think that they should have one challenge within the last 2 minutes, regardless if you've blown your other challenges and stupid calls. At least have one challenge in the last 2 minutes,
right?
Whether to challenge a call or a no call.
Right.
I mean, if there is a no call and the other team is bringing the ball up and there hasn't been any pressure, and you should be able to light the buzzer
right,
and have them stop the game for a no call.
Yeah.
Because it's not interfering in a fast break. It's not interfering in the tempo of what's now occurring. And just be able to do it that way.
Right.
Because it's not even the calls that screw you over. It's the no calls that have a potential to screw you over.
Right. Right.
So give them one in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And figure out a way to do that for the coaches.
Right.
So they don't go into the media and lambaste the referees, which I'm okay with, but you're seeing it way more and more in the playoffs right now.
Right.
Because of what's taking place.
Yep. So right now, Boston is up on Cleveland 2-1. They've had a pretty easy road, man. They've been playing some banged up teams. The only reason that Cleveland even won last time is because Jamal Murray went crazy.
You mean Mitchell?
Jamal Murray, wow. Donovan Mitchell went freaking crazy. He's out this game.
Oh, he's out in game 4?
He's out this game.
I didn't hear that yet.
And when I left, Boston was killing them. I don't expect it to be close, but I've been saying Boston has not been tested. They've played injury-riddled freaking teams. They got an easy path to the freaking championship, and I think they're going to have a problem in the next round. Whether they play the Pacers or the Knicks, they're going to have a challenge. I expect them to get, past them. I expect them to be in the championship, but whoever comes out of the West, I think they're going to blow their doors.
You think the West is going to win regardless?
100%. No matter who comes out of the West.
There's something about Boston that when they put it together, they're a hard team to beat.
But how they put it together, though, who have they played?
Well, they don't need to right now. That's the problem.
Well, they have, because they're only up 2-1 on Cleveland, which they should be dominating.
I will say, I think they will have a bigger problem with Indiana than they will with the Knicks.
They had, the Heat gave them some issues. They didn't even have their best player. Now they're going against Cleveland, who's giving them problems, and they don't have their freaking best player. And they are good on offense, but on defense, if you have a team, say they go up against the Thunder have way too many playmakers. They're not going to be able to freaking play with them, I don't think.
Thunder may not get past the Mavericks.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
Luka finally has a cast around him that can help.
Kyrie is so disgusting. That dude, man, the way that he's able to use his left and his right is so ridiculous.
It's PJ Washington's having a
great year. That was a great pickup by them.
And Derek Lively, the rookie in the middle, is having and bringing in Gafford with him to spell him. They've got a lot of pieces that Luka can depend on now.
Well, speaking on that, I think that the problem that the Thunder are having, I think that Shea, as much as I love him, I think he's trying to take too much of the load on his own. And he's so used to getting so many foul calls. And like we were talking about earlier, they're not calling those.
Correct. He's not getting 20 free throws like he got against.
And so he's getting 5-6 free throws a game. And that is drastically limiting his output. And the other players around him are not playing up to their potential. Josh Giddey is not playing up to his, potential. Jalen Williams, Jaylen Williams, is playing pretty good. But there needs to be somebody else that steps up and takes some of the load off of Shea.
Correct.
Because he's not going to get those calls.
They're also giving it. They're just handing him the ball on the offensive end in the last 5-6 minutes
every
of the
time.
Quarter. It's like they have no initiative outside of Shea.
Yeah.
Chet Holmgren's not shooting well.
He is not. And he's getting bodied too.
Yeah. They're a young team with a young coach, and they may not understand what to do in this situation.
Right.
It's showing against Dallas.
Yeah. Chet's a very, very good player, but like I've been saying, he is too light in the ass. That dude is...
he can get muscled.
He is getting muscled underneath. He is just getting outmanned.
Gafford's not a good player.
No.
But he is holding his own against you.
Yeah. The only thing I will say about the Mavs is that Luka looks tired already.
Luka's hurt.
He is hurt, but he also looks tired. And you have 2 more series after this.
Yeah.
So no matter if they get past them or not, if they go against the Nuggets, it's going to be a problem. I mean, Jokic will average 30 a game against them.
He could average a triple-double against them.
Yeah. Speaking of Jokic, the Nuggets and Timberwolves are tied up 2-2.
And nobody on the home floor has won.
Nobody. And I'll tell you what, we talked about it earlier. I don't like Rudy Gobert. I do not like Karl Anthony Towns, but I love Anthony Edwards. He's my favorite player in the NBA. I would love to see them beat the Nuggets. On top of everything else, I'm just tired of the same. It's just like in the NFL. I'm so happy the Patriots they're done. And I want something new, and I want some new teams to be in here. And the fact that Jokic won his 3rd MVP, which did he deserve it? I don't know, but
I think he did.
I mean, it's a definite argument either way. But I would love to see the Timberwolves advance, but that is my favorite series. I love that series. I just wish Luka was at 100% on the series before this so that whoever they meet up with, they could be at, a little bit better health so we can have a little bit better matchup, because the Nuggets are kind of clicking on all cylinders. Nobody's really hurt. Michael Porter Jr., great, role player. Aaron Gordon, I think one of the most
one shot last night.
I think he is one of the most underappreciated players in the entire league. That dude is a baller, and he gets no recognition.
He does a lot for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Pacers and Knicks. That's just, it's a great series, but dude, Jalen Brunson is the whole team. DiVincenzo's adding a little, but Brunson is the whole team. And last game, yesterday, it showed because he is gassed.
Oh,
He was gassed.
They were done from the start.
From the start. It didn't even look close. I mean, they did not look like they were on the same page with each other. The Pacers look like just a far better team, and I don't think that they are, but they look like it. Miles Turner's playing extremely well. Halliburton's playing really, really well. Nembhard is playing really, really well. Just all the role players are contributing, whereas the Knicks, it's like Brunson, and then maybe DiVincenzo once in a while.
Maybe a little Josh Hart, but
Josh Hart playing damn near fucking 49 minutes a game.
He didn't sit in one of the games.
Yeah, I think he sat in one game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I don't know why. I mean, is their bench really that bad to where you can't get Josh Hart off the floor?
Yeah.
I mean, who is Josh Hart?
Yeah.
I mean, what has he done to deserve 48 minutes out of a 48-minute game?
Yeah.
I don't
understand it.
I mean, unless defensively he's a super stud, but I don't see that either.
All right, so let's go down these 4 and let's pick who we think is going to win. So Boston versus Cleveland. Boston. Thunder versus Mavs.
I think the Mavericks beat them.
I think the Mavs do too. Nuggets, Timberwolves.
I got the Nuggets.
I'm going to take the Timberwolves, man. I think the Nuggets should win. They definitely have more experience, but I think the Timberwolves are just too young and dumb to know they're not supposed to win. And I think Anthony Edwards is going to carry that team.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets got a wake-up call with losing their first 2 games at home.
But the Timberwolves have the next 2 out of 3 at home. No?
It's going back to Denver for Game 5. They're the higher seed. They're the 2 seed.
Oh, you're right.
So they got 2 out of 3 in Denver. They will not come out looking like they did the first 2 games of the series. Malone has them playing after getting beat in Game 2. Mm-hmm. Something happened, and he got into their ass somehow, and it turned the switch because it is not – the games haven't been overly close the last 2 in Minnesota.
No.
And Denver has done whatever they wanted to do, both offensively and defensively, against this team. Ant is getting what Ant is getting.
Mm-hmm. No, someone else definitely has to step up.
Nobody else is getting anything.
Yeah, someone else definitely has to step up. That's the one who has to step up. Yeah.
The last 2 games.
Yeah. All right, Pacers, Knicks.
I got Pacers.
I got the Pacers too. I just think the Knicks are too gassed. I think that, like we just talked about, their starters are playing so many minutes, which is stupid on the coach, that they just don't have anything left, and the Pacers are young. They're going to run them out of the freaking building. I mean,
I'm still trying to figure out how the Knicks were the 2 seed to begin with.
I mean, Brunson is a baller.
Just looking at the roster, but it's Brunson.
Yeah, that's it.
Looking at their roster, I don't see how. I mean, yes, obviously the Eastern Conference is a little weaker than we imagined.
Right.
But, I mean, just having that team be the 2 seed with Brunson and a bunch of cast-offs from most other teams.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Hey, it's New York, man. Who freaking can call it? All right, let's get into the NFL draft. This happened a couple weeks back, but like I said, we've both been on a little hiatus, so we got some catching up to do. So we're just going to go over the top 12, 15 picks, see what we thought about it. Didn't really go out of what everybody thought it was going to go out of. I really thought there was going to be some teams trading up. Surprised that there wasn't. Bears obviously went Caleb Williams. So much hype around that dude. I am definitely not sold on Caleb Williams. I'm not saying he's going to be a bust, but I don't think he's going to live up to what everybody is saying. One of the main things that I've been talking about with him, I don't even understand what the hell he did at USC. That was so crazy. But it's just you're going from USC to Chicago. You're going on a team where you're playing in freaking 75, 85 degrees all the time to playing in -5, snowing. He got a big wake-up call coming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not overly worried about the weather issue.
No, I am. I think it's going to be a big deal.
Especially since if he's going to be their long-term quarterback and not a 2 years and he's getting traded like the rest of their quarterbacks in that system, the fact that they've got a new stadium now being constructed or soon to be constructed that may be a dome,
right?
Which I'm hearing it may be a dome.
I don't know why all cold teams don't have domes. Oh, I agree. It's for the history of the league. You don't freaking want that. You want outside weather games. You want snow games or rain games. But for the players, what the NFL wants scoring. And when you have a game that's 20 below zero, you're running the ball 50 times a game and you're passing it 3, they don't want that.
I'll tell you, I think the snow games get better views than dome games do.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on the teams.
I don't care who's playing in the snow. I want to see somebody in some mud. I want to see somebody in the snow. I want to see somebody at 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, the games are just boring, though. I mean, I'll say when you have a game like that, you can't kick field goals. You're not going to pass the ball. The games end up being 3-9. It's just most people don't. Commanders at 2 went with Jada Daniels. I don't think it was a surprise there. I think it was between him and Drake May. Patriots went with Drake May, which obviously we all knew they were going to do.
There was a lot of offers on the table for 3.
Yeah.
I read about multiple offers that didn't meet the standards of trading out of 3.
Yeah.
So they kept him.
Right. Marvin Harrison Jr. went 4, which everybody thought. 5 is where I thought it got a little interesting. Not saying that the Chargers made a bad pick because Joe Alt by far was the best O-lineman in the freaking entire draft. And going with Jim Harbaugh, you know they're going to run the ball a ton. But their running back is J.K. Dobbins.
Well, he'll be on the field for 30 seconds.
Exactly. You have potential Pro Bowl level receivers there. I don't know that you pass on them because right now your number 1 receiver is who they just pick up.
They have Josh Palmer as their number 1.
Well, he's only going to be there for a few games. Quentin Johnson, but no, they just got somebody. Is it Chase Claypool or did he go to the Bills?
Wherever Chase Claypool goes is a cancer, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? I think is it Chase Claypool and who else? He went to the Bills. I'll tell you right now because I was looking.
Well, regardless, bringing in the tackle to protect Herbert, I think was their best option because obviously they didn't get the trade that they wanted from Minnesota to move out and draft a tackle later and get more draft picks. So that obviously broke down. And Minnesota still got who they wanted to at wherever they picked at.
They got DJ Chark. That's who they freaking got.
Okay.
But the Bills got Claypool. So the Chargers 1, 2, and 3 receivers are all super questionable. Like I said, Palmer is not going to stay healthy. I think we can all agree on that.
I think Palmer,
He's a stud receiver.
He is.
But he can't stay on the field.
Well,
until he proves he can play a full season.
He could stay on the field better than Mike Williams could.
Well, he's gone, so that don't matter. And Quentin Johnston, I don't want to say he underperformed, but when you're behind Keenan Allen and stuff, you should have had a better year than what you had.
He didn't. He just didn't get the looks.
Yeah.
I mean, whether or not he was on the field a lot, he just didn't get the targets.
I mean, I just don't see how you pass on Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors. I mean, which the Giants got with the next pick was 6, which I think solidifies. Obviously, they're going to stick with Daniel Jones after they gave him that, contract, which, hey, never know. Maybe.
Literally the deal is on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
He's on a short leash.
Oh, 100, percent. But next year's draft class is not that great for quarterbacks. Shadur, that's who you're going to get.
He's a 5th round pick at best.
The Titans got J.C. Latham, offensive tackle from Alabama. Think that was a good pick.
Yeah, they need to protect Will Levis.
Yeah, they definitely need Will Levis. Now, Atlanta, that's where it got stupid. They go and get Michael Penix, who I thought was the Raiders' lock. I think it's just so dumb because now they put themselves in a stupid position because you just gave Kirk Cousins $100-something million.
I didn't even see him being the 4th quarterback off the board. I thought he was
crazy.
6th and possibly in the 2nd round.
So crazy. So you pick him. On top of that, Michael Penix is like 24. So
Correct.
Kirk Cousins is on a 3-year deal. So if you stick with Cousins, which you gave him all this freaking money.
Yeah. What, $100 million guarantee?
Yeah. Penix doesn't even get an opportunity to see the field unless he gets hurt until he's 27, 28.
Is Atlanta going with the Green Bay theory of build the quarterback first?
Well, you go
let him play.
I mean, that's great if your quarterback's 20 when you draft him. When he's 24, he's not getting on the field till he's 27, 28. It's stupid to me. It's especially when you have needs in the secondary. And there are some good players out there that you could have got. And instead, you go with the position that's not a need. That's what I was scratching my head with that. I think most people were.
Yeah, everybody didn't. I mean, they obviously have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't to address the defense.
Right.
It was to address the offense.
Yep.
If Kirk Cousins, remember, he's still coming back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
What if he isn't come back 100%? I mean, he's an older quarterback. Yes, they gave him $100 million, but what do you have right now?
But again, it wasn't a specific need. If you're going to go with offense, why don't you draft Odunze? Can you imagine Drake London, Odunze, and Kyle Pitts on the field at the same time? That's pretty insane. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm mistaken, they got a receiver in the offseason as well.
Yeah, but
I can't remember.
You're not going to be paying these rookies a lot of money.
Correct.
So you're basically wasting a pick, in my opinion. Whether you're paying them or not, he's not going to be on the field. Where you could draft somebody like Odunze, who's going to be on the field all the time, and you can see if they're going to work out right away. Whereas Penix, you're going to throw with the second team, and we'll see in a few years.
I had the same question 4 years ago, 2020, when Green Bay drafted Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of giving Aaron Rodgers a weapon, which at the time could have been Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm. But you guys might have freaking missed out on a Super Bowl because of that. Who knows?
Could have.
Right? Can you imagine Justin Jefferson and Aaron Rodgers at that time? That was crazy.
Oh, my God.
Crazy, dude.
Especially since after they drafted Jordan Love in 2020, they went to back-to-back NFC championship games.
Mm-hmm.
Could it have been the difference? Possibly. But we were always lacking on the defensive side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've lacked every year on the defensive side since their Super Bowl in 2011.
Right.
Because they draft defensively, and it just doesn't pan out.
Yep.
There's always a problem on the defensive side or special team side. Mm-hmm. We've seen it every year. But now that, you do the 3-year window with a guy, I know that being a first-round pick, you'll have a 5th round or a 5-year option for Penix. Mm-hmm. So they can hold him for 4 through the length of Cousins' contract. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't pan out, then you don't give him a 5th-year option and you send Packett.
On top of that, though, but then, like I just said, you wasted a pick. You just wasted a top 10, you know what I'm saying, pick, which in my opinion, you did already, especially for a guy like you said, wasn't even projected to go until the later in the first round, possibly the second round. You spend a top 10 pick on him when you got receivers and defensive players there that you could freaking use right away.
Unless they somehow had intel that nobody else had, that Penix was going to go up top and they couldn't trade back into the first
Well, I
round
think
to
if
get
he
him.
would have dropped to the Raiders, we would have got him. But that's only because we were in dire need of a freaking quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the Falcons aren't. 9, the Bears, I think they did a great job with this. They did get Caleb Williams, but then they went and got Roma Dunze. I mean, they're to have DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Roma Dunze, they're going to be dangerous. Their offense is going to be nice if Caleb Williams pads out.
Correct. And he doesn't get scared.
Exactly.
He's a rookie quarterback. You never know. Are you going to get Bryce Young or are you going to get CJ Stroud?
Right. And then the Vikings at 10 went J.J. McCarthy, which I thought was ridiculous. And if you've seen any clips of him at camp so far, bro, brutal.
10 was the Jets.
They traded with the Vikings.
Oh, did they move back down to 1?
Yeah. So the Jets...
After 1 first-round trade?
Yeah. Okay. So the Vikings moved up 1 spot, got J.J. McCarthy. And like I said, so far, dude, and I know it's only like the first week, but he just looks bad, bro.
Well, they were able to trade up 1 spot and give up not as much instead of trading up to 5 with the Chargers to give up probably both their first-round picks and a whole bunch of other stuff.
If I was them, though, I mean, J.J. McCarthy is not a big enough wild card to me to take a chance on when you already have Jaren Hall sitting there with a little bit of experience. Granted, he didn't look great, but he also kind of got thrown in. Yeah. J.J. McCarthy, again, I mean, we'll see, but so far from just a little bit of tape that's on him right now, not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, most first-round picks don't pan out, so yeah, I mean, it's all a crapshoot at this point.
The Jets at 11 went with Olu Fushanu, old tackle from Penn State.
Yep.
I think that's a really, really good move on their part. They need to keep Aaron Rodgers healthy. Obviously, they already have a ton of offensive weapons. They didn't need anything else on offense. Their defense is actually really nice.
They could have used the tight end Brock Bowers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he would have been a really good, solid pick there.
Yep.
But the offensive tackle is fine. If there was a wide receiver that had fallen down there, that would have been fine as well.
Yeah.
I mean, everything for them is all on the offensive side.
Right.
The defense is pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Denver at 12 took Bo Nix, which I kind of like Bo Nix, but I don't know, man. Denver, I mean, they could have drafted anybody. They got so many holes, bro. Denver's bad. They got so many holes.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is when Russell Wilson got there, they didn't have any holes besides the quarterback.
Right.
And somehow when Russell Wilson gets there, all these holes start showing up everywhere.
Right.
I know that they lost some receivers. Jerry Judy's gone. Cortland Sutton was MIA last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they did bring in Marvin Mims in the draft last year. And they lost a couple of their secondary guys. Justin Simmons, I think, is one of them who was really, really good.
Yeah.
So they lost their secondary.
Right.
And they bring in Bo Nix, which I thought he was overdrafted too.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think he would go until someone traded back up into the first round.
Yeah, I didn't either. I thought he was going to go into the first round, possibly into the second round.
There's a lot of needs on that team now.
Yeah.
But the thing is they pick him after they traded for Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
And they already had Jared Stidham on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a rotational bunch of goofs that who knows who's got to start.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell Elway's doing over there, but he ain't doing them no favors.
They're last in their division.
And then my Raiders, I think we were penciling in Penix, and when he got drafted, I think it was pretty much if Bowers was there. Granted, we drafted Michael Mayer last year, so obviously we're going to be running a 2 tight end set. Yeah. But our offense, honestly, bro, it's pretty nice. I mean, quarterback is obviously a huge question mark. But I will say Aiden O'Connell had some games where he looked really good. To have a whole year and then an off season, curious to see what he does. I mean, obviously that's why they brought in Minshew, veteran. You know what I'm saying?
Under a new offensive coordinator this year.
Yes, new offensive coordinator. So our offense, you're starting out with Jacoby Myers and Devontae Adams at 1 and 2. You got Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers in a 2 tight end set, and we got Trey Tucker, a pretty good rookie last year, as a number 3. We did get rid of Hunter Renfrow, but our offense is pretty nice. And to be honest, our second round pick, Jackson Powers Johnson, our O lineman, he's a monster. I think that was a steal in the second round, and I think that was a really, really good pick. But I think our defensive line. I think our D-line, I really do think we're going to be a top 10 defense next year. The amount of pressure that we're going to get on every team, they're not going to be able to double anybody. You got Malcolm Kuntz, you got Christian Wilkins, and you got Max Crosby. That's going to be a bad problem for a lot of teams.
You're going to need it with the firepower still in Kansas City. So,
well, I mean, I don't know. Kansas City didn't look that good last year. Their defense carried them last year, and we beat them once and almost beat them a second time.
Yeah, you can get Kansas City early in the year before
we got them at the end of the year,
but
we worked their ass at the end of the year.
Yeah, it was Christmas, right?
Yeah,
so there's still 5 weeks left.
That's at the end of the year.
Well, you don't want to see them in January. Let's just say that.
I would love to see them in January. That means we're in it. I only want to talk about 3 more picks after this. The 21st, the Dolphins, they got the edge from Penn State, Chop Robinson. I think that was a great pickup. I think that was a little bit late for what he was expected to go.
He's supposed to go a lot earlier.
Really, really good player.
I thought he was going to be drafted by the Raiders.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been nasty, too. I would have loved that pick. I just think Brock Bowers is he's a monster, dude. At first, I was like, man, I wasn't really happy with it. But then the more I kind of looked into Brock Bowers, that dude's a beast, man. He can block. He's really big. He's got crazy hands. He's going to be a matchup problem for a lot of teams. 25, the Packers. What do you think about Jordan Morgan, the O tackle from Arizona?
He's a fat dude that we need. I mean, I don't know much about him. I didn't watch Arizona play. Based off of his rankings and his ratings and all his stats or whatever, it seems to be like a pretty decent offensive tackle.
Yep.
The Packers draft, the entire draft, I already knew there was not going to be a lot of skill positions on the offensive side being drafted. They've got everybody set. They're all young, all together.
Right.
They needed the fat guys on both sides of the ball. They needed a linebacker, which they addressed 2 of them in the draft. They addressed cornerbacks and safeties in the draft. They addressed a defensive tackle. And I think they may have gotten the best running back in the draft, which is surprising because they picked him in the 4th round, the Marshawn out of USC. He may have been the best.
Yeah, this draft was kind of soft on backs, but you never know. And that's the one thing about the draft. We're talking about all these freaking players, and every single one of these players could be a dud, and there could be, just like freaking Puka Nacua, there could be someone in the 4th round who is better than everybody in this draft. You never know.
Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Luke Musgrave,
Tom Brady,
Tucker Kraft. All of our skill positions came from the 2nd round on.
And then the last one I want to talk about, fucking Chiefs, man. Xavier Worthy, wide receiver from Texas, Tyreek Hill 2.0.
Oh, yeah.
Fast as hell. That's what all they draft anymore, I think, is just, it's like the old school Raiders. Who ran the fastest 40? That's who we're taking.
But he's actually a lot better than Darius Hayward-Bay was back in the day.
Yeah.
But no, that's, I mean, he fits whatever they do so well.
Yep.
As long as they can use him like Tyreek Hill, it'd be crazy. They're not gonna see Rashee Rice for at least 10 games.
Yeah. That dude's a idiot. And he just got in trouble again. He just got in a fight in a freaking nightclub and kicked some dude's ass. It's like, dude,
I don't understand.
If you've ever seen a Bronx Tale, wasted talent. Wasted freaking talent.
I mean, man. What do these guys think?
They're young and they get in these positions and they think that they are just unbreakable. They think they're untouchable. And it's just, I don't know, man. I really freaking don't know. It blows my mind, especially like the speeding. That is, these wrecks that these guys are getting into, they make so much money. If you want to race, you can rent a track and you can go race. These teams have things in place where all you got to do is make a call and they will have somebody come pick you up. It's free. They want to make sure that you're safe. And these idiots go out and get drunk. They travel around with the entourage of 50 guys
who are just as stupid,
but you're still driving yourself all around. I used to be head of security at a very large casino, and there was a tribal member there. He liked to drink a lot, but he was smart enough. He had a full-time driver. That's all he did. My guy would be up in the club, partying his ass off. His driver would just be sitting there the whole time, whole night. He's getting paid just to sit there. Never got up and danced, never drank, just drank water. His full-time job, you're a driver. I'm going to party my whole life, and you're going to drive me around. Do me like $5,000 a freaking week, dude. I'll take it too. It's crazy. Oh my God. So something that I want to get into is the hobby. I've been doing a lot of shows lately, which the Sacramento Card Show, if you guys came out, I met a lot of you guys out there, had a great time. Thank you guys for coming out. Have another show this week, May 17th through the 19th at the grounds in Roseville, Jones Hall. There's going to be a lot of people out there, a lot of people signing autographs. They do cost money, but the lineup is crazy. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday and Sunday are going to have most of the people there. I don't remember everybody, but Johnny Manziel, Dennis Rodman, Dennis Eckersley, Ricky Henderson, Frank Thomas, Malik Monk, Dave Stewart. There's going to be a ton of people signing autographs there. So come check them out, man. It's going to be great. It's not one of these shows that's a massive show where there's 300 tables, or I believe there's around 90 tables, so you can actually get around the whole show. I will literally be the first one that you see when you walk in the door. I am dead center as soon as you walk in the front door, so I will be the first one that you see. So come by, say hi. Tim is going to be there on either Saturday or Sunday. We haven't got that nailed down yet. We will be doing the podcast there. Hopefully we'll be able to get one of these guys to come through and say a little something, do a little interview for us, but can't wait for that.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So, some pretty big announcements from Topps recently. So Topps has announced, which I have not understood why they have not already done this, but they have announced that Topps Chrome Basketball will be released this year, I believe October or November. So it will not be licensed, but there will be Wembanyama autos. They will also be coming out with NFL products this year, also not licensed, but we will finally get Stroud autos, Young autos, Levis autos.
And then are they still reverting it back to 2023, or is this going to be 2024?
I mean, it's going to have to be 23, I believe. Well,
because if they did it 2024, now these guys that are rookies now will not be rookie. Those will not be rookie autos.
I believe it's going to be 23, but I don't 100% know that for sure. I know that next year, Topps gets the NBA license, so we're only going to have to deal with 1 year of unlicensed. They will get it next year. NFL, they don't get till 2026. 2026, they will own all licenses for all three major sports, MLB, NFL, NBA. Now, that being said, Panini is still signing players to deals, so which makes me think we're still going to get all these products, but they're not going to be licensed. We might still have Prism, but it's not going to be licensed. They just signed Tim Duncan. They're signing a lot of college players.
So it'll be like the Prism draft.
Right.
College unis, college players.
Now, what I am very interested about is Panini going to drop some of their prices, because their prices are freaking outrageous on products, because Topps products are going to be drastically lower, and we're going to have, autos of the big names.
Yeah, but will they be lower?
They will be. Yeah. I think they've already came out and gave a price point where Topps Chrome is going to be between $400 and $500. That's going to be pretty awesome.
Well, I guess it's better than the 800-900 for Prism.
Prism, which keeps going, you can't even get Prism now for that. Now Prism's $1,200. I just bought a box at the show, and I mean, luckily I bought it from my boy, because it would have been $1,300 on the shelf. I got it for $1,000. Yeah. Didn't get a damn thing.
$100 boxes from 2016, 17, or
absolutely. Now, one downside that I do see happening is for the people who have pulled big cards from Prism, Wembanyama's and Strouds and stuff like that. I see those prices dropping. I see when you start getting these Wembanyama autos out there competing with these other cards right now that are going for stupid amounts of money, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for a card numbered to 150. It's not going to be as valuable when you got the freaking auto sitting out there, licensed or not.
Yeah, speaking of which, the Prism, the 2023-2024 Prism box set is out on Panini site.
Yeah, it's like $3,500.
Dutch auction of $3,500.
Yeah.
But the Wembanyama that's numbered to 150 that's in there, what is, I guess, I was looking at similar comps, and I'm seeing Wembanyama 199s or whatever still going for $4,000 or $5,000. The 3,500 price point seems really good.
Right.
So with only 150 left, they're doing the Dutch auction thing.
Right.
Is that even going to drop?
I don't think it's going to drop that much, but like I said, I think that I've already seen prices starting to drop on the Wembanyama Prisms, the numbered cards. The first one that was out, which if you get a numbered card and you're lucky enough to be one of the first ones, put that shit out immediately. Yeah. Because the first blue Prism that sold went for like $10,200. That exact same card right now is going for like $1,900, $2,200.
Yeah, it's always the first one hits the market gets all the money.
It's crazy.
And if you can't be the first one, then you got to hold.
Right.
And then wait for another year of him playing really well, and then drop it again.
Right. Now, one thing that I'm also seeing Panini do that they've been doing now this entire year, which I really hate, they're putting out first off the line. And then normally, 5 days after first off the line comes out, the hobby boxes come out. Now, they're waiting 2-3 weeks after first off the line drops to drop the hobby boxes.
Yeah.
It's super frustrating. I think they're trying to build these prices up as much as they possibly can. The prices on these products is just stupid. Yeah. It's stupid.
And most of them are still sitting on the website.
A lot of them are sitting on the website. The ones that, like I've been saying, if the breakers are not into them, the rookies and the stars and the lower ends, you know what I'm saying, stuff, they're going to sit there.
I mean, even Select Hobby, which is out there like $650 or whatever, it will never move.
It's you're chasing one player.
And the fact that, I mean, the first off the line guys went for like $1,200, and
which was dumb.
It's ridiculous.
And
then the hobbies are still sitting out there. Crown is still sitting out there.
Yeah,
$550 because the only thing you're chasing is a Wemby.
Only thing you could get is a Kaboom in there. Yeah, we've got 3 boxes of Crown. Probably one of the worst investments I've ever had. I had 3 boxes of Crown. We've spent $1,600. We've probably got $100 worth of cards total. If you don't hit a Kaboom,
it's Kaboom or bust. It's just like
bust.
Absolute football. It was.
Oh, Absolute's the worst product that there is. It's the worst product that there is.
Well, is it any worse than Crown Royal?
I think so. Because at least Crown Royal, you can hit the crystals that still hold a lot of value. I hit a Antetokounmpo last year, 101 crystal. You can still hit the Curry crystal. There's still a lot of...
Wemby's gone.
Yeah.
Wemby got hit.
Yeah. But in Absolute, it's like base cards suck. The parallels suck. You are literally only going for the Kaboom. And they're not even guaranteed in the case.
No.
Which is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'd rather take a chance on Obsidian and get a Color Blast or a Contra or something like that than...
But I did see on the Panini website under the basketball cards that there's like 6 releases coming that say coming soon.
Yeah. There's a ton of them coming soon.
I mean, why are they posting these things so soon if they're not going to release them for months?
Well, it's just like freaking Optic. They keep pushing products back. Optic was supposed to be released like a month ago, and they just keep pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back. They did it with Flawless for like months. I don't know why they do it. It's extremely frustrating.
Speaking of Flawless and National Treasures, and I know, if I'm not mistaken, Flawless is the last release of the year, or supposedly the last release of a football season. Mm-hmm. Does Flawless get released before Topps Chrome gets released?
Topps Chrome football?
Whichever year they're running, 2023 or 2024.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I don't know. I think Topps is going to try to do that. I think the competition is going to be so tough for that, because that's going to put Panini in a bad spot. Because, dude, and on top of that, they're always a year behind in Flawless.
Yeah, I mean, it comes out during the next season.
Yeah, so I mean, they're still not going to be licensed. What'll be more interesting to me next year is the basketball, because then Topps will be licensed.
Yeah.
So what is Flawless going to do then? I don't think they can come out with the NBA. If they do, they're going to come out with an unlicensed Flawless product.
Well, they do that already with the collegiate.
Yeah, but the price point that they're asking now, like, what is it, $12,000-$13,000
for one suitcase? Yeah,
it'll be like $2,000.
It shouldn't even be that high.
It shouldn't, but it will be, because it's still Flawless. But I'm very curious to see what happens with this. I'm curious to see. The only thing I don't like, I'm so used to Prism now. I'm so familiar with all their parallels and their prisms, and there's so many of them. And now we're going from that, and we're going to refractors. And now it's going to get used to all these and all the new names, and everything is going to be different now. And is Panini still going to stick with their products? And like I said, I think they are, because they're still signing. They just signed Tim Duncan, right? He just came out in Crown Royal. That's the first product that he's signing in again. They're signing a lot of collegiate players. They got Caitlin Clark. They're signing a lot of, I mean, that's going to be a big one next year. You know what I'm saying? The freaking WNBA. So
I hope they put Caitlin Clark in the regular NBA boxes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
That'd be awesome.
So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm happy to see it. The hobby needs some competition, because right now Panini is just screwing people. Something else that Topps came out with, and I think is freaking awesome. Their redemptions are going to hold a 10-year expiration.
About that.
They will honor redemptions for 10 years. And I don't know if they're going to be getting them out as fast, but right now, when you have a redemption with Topps, by the time you turn it in till the time that it's at your door is usually about 2 weeks.
But
it's fast.
So with that, if playing devil's advocate, if you get a redemption 1 year and they lose the signing rights to that guy, say the next year, is your redemption just worthless? Or are they, I mean,
I'm sure they'll honor it some way, but yeah, I don't know how.
But when you say honor it, are they honoring the actual player, or honoring you'll get something in case we can't do this?
Right. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Something else that PSA came out and said, which is something we've been asking for forever, is they're now going, they say, to start telling you why your cards got certain grades. So when you turn in a submission, they said they're going to start with the higher tier, but eventually they're going to do it for everything.
Okay.
So
yeah, I don't send at the high tier. I send the everything.
I mean, I've sent a few at the high tier, but I do a lot of large submissions where I send in 150 cards at once. And I am so curious to know why the hell some of these cards come back, and I don't turn them in unless I think they're going to get at minimum 9. I go over with a magnifying glass, just like we all do, and I get them back, and it's like, how the hell did this card get a 5?
I got 2 of them.
Like, there are some cards, like, you get a 5? It should have a corner ripped off of it or something. Yeah. Like, these cards look pristine, and you're like, tell me why.
Yeah, did you?
I don't understand.
On the keyboard?
Yeah, I don't understand because it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
No scratching, no corners, no edges. No, you can see no scratches on the surface, front or back.
Yep.
I mean, when you see a 5, which I got one on a card number to 15, which fucking irritated me.
Mm-hmm.
I see no issues with edges.
Yep.
It's not like the surface is coming off.
Right.
I didn't paint the card.
Right.
And there's no explanation.
Yep. Nothing. You're just sitting there scratching your head like I just.
So I crack it and send it back.
Yep. Well, that's the problem, though. You could do that if it's like a short print, but if it's a numbered card that they have in their system, they're gonna put it right back in the same slab and send it right back to you. You're just wasting your money.
Yeah, I didn't send back that one yet. That was one of the questions I was going to have.
Yeah.
Was if they do see that numbering in the system, because on the PSA label, it doesn't even say what it's numbered to.
Right.
So,
but if you scan that, you know what I'm saying, number, it's going to come up in their system.
to where you can turn it around.
Right.
Because they show front and back.
Right.
It shows the serial number. Yeah.
And so that's why when people do that, they don't send it back to PSA. They send it to BGS or SGC or somebody else. Yeah.
Well, SGC is PSA, so do they use the same?
Right. That's interesting too. That's very interesting too. So yeah. So yeah, a lot of questions. There's a lot of uncertainty, but I'm excited for it. I can't wait because Panini's been screwing us for too long.
Yeah, they deserve something.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. I mean, I know someone broke into their office and stole a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Congratulations to that guy.
Inside job.
Probably.
It has to be.
Yeah. So someone who put the Kaboom boxes together last year's.
Yeah. Where you could, I wish I would have figured that out before I bought any.
Yeah. Hey, what's the serial number of the box?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I saw it after it was free. You don't say it too late. I was like, oh my God. I've never hit a Kaboom, never hit a downtown, which is absolutely insane with all the product I buy.
You guaranteed yourself a Kaboom.
Exactly.
Box you looked at.
Exactly. Unbelievable. Well, with that being said, I think that wraps up about everything that I wanted to talk about. Anything that you want to touch on before we get out of here?
No, just PGA Championship this week. I want to see Rory McIlroy and Scheffler in the final group somehow. I want to see them go 1-on-1 on the final day. This is kind of like the Tiger Phil thing. Mm-hmm. I want to see those two guys go at it for a major.
Yep.
Final day, final grouping. Let's go.
Yep.
And Rory's playing out of his mind right now. Yeah. Scotty's playing out of his mind, but he just had a kid, so he could be really tired.
Right.
But I would love to see that battle.
Yep. Yep.
It's the new Tiger Rory.
Yep.
Or the Tiger Phil.
Be very interested. And like I said, if you guys are going to be in the area, definitely come out to the show this weekend. It's going to be amazing. Even if you guys don't buy anything, I don't care. Stop by the booth, introduce yourself. Love to meet you guys. If you guys are looking to sell cards, come by. I'm buying everything. About to start my whatnot here in the next week or two. So I'm looking to buy a lot of cards. So if you guys are coming around, come by, say hi. Might be in the video for next week. So appreciate you guys. I don't know where you're going after this. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. Get out of my house. Let's go.
See ya.